last question.
Who or what never fails to make you laugh?
Who or what never fails to make me laugh? Welcome, everybody. It's David Cinelli. This is DC Talks podcast. We have a special treat for you. This is the 52nd episode. Yeah, we've been doing this a whole year. And we thought we'd change it up just a little bit instead of having Owen, my little sidekick, but he's off camera right here. We thought it'd be a good way to end this year with some rapid fire questions, asking your host, me, some questions about basically anything in life. So I asked my staff to give me some questions, some clients, some people. I have no idea what the questions are. I told them, listen, I want it to be rapid fire. I want to be off the cuff. And so, yeah, I thought we'd have an episode on this, and obviously want to see your feedback if you like this one or not. So Owen, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, DC.
You ready to start asking me some questions?
Let's get rolling, baby.
All right, let's get to it.
All right. Question number 1. What's your favorite memory throughout your teenage years?
So the question is, what is my favorite memory throughout my teenage years? Honestly, I have to say it has to be a lot of my hockey journey. I don't know. It sounds funny. It's like we lived our lives within a rink, right? So we're constantly, I say we as hockey players. And one of my finest memories was probably playing hockey with my brother. It was at St. Mike's. We played, I guess it was my grade 10 and grade 11 year. We did everything together. We went to school together. He drove. We played hockey together. So I would say through my teenage years was spending that much time with my brother, who was my best friend. So that would definitely be my favorite memory.
Amazing. What's an experience you've gone through that's taught you a lesson you think about every day?
So the lesson I would say that has taught me to really think about every single day of my life would have to be the loss of my father. It brought a lot into perspective for me, whether it's being a dad, whether it's even at his funeral. I remember how many people were touched by my dad. And I thought, kind of changed my legacy, I think. I think at that point, you're still kind of selfish a little bit. And I realized, this world is not just about me. It's more about those that you touch. And it's, people will always remember how you made them feel, right? They don't always remember what you say. And that was very profound. I thought at the funeral, people, the stories they had about him, how he helped them. So 100% that would be the life lesson that changed my life would be right there.
Onto a parent's second part of that. Did you ever hide anything or lie to your parents about?
Yeah. Did I ever lie to my parents? Oh my God. Yeah. I was a teenage boy. We lied about everything. I remember hiding smoking weed. I remember hiding drinking with my brother a lot of times. I remember sometimes he'd have to. So again, when I used to hang out with my brother, Mike, when we were really young, he was 2 years older than me, but we pretty much were inseparable. And so I used to go to a lot of parties when I was younger, probably I shouldn't have been involved in. So yeah, we got exposed to a little more drugs. Probably we should have been. I don't nothing crazy, but like weed and, and some mushrooms here and there too. But I remember one time, we were high. We just smoked some weed and we came into the home and we were obviously had the munchies. And my mom woke up at 3:00 in the morning, made us a full 3-course meal. And she just thought we were just really tired and her eyes were red from the smoke from the club. So sorry, Mom, we were high that day.
What is your most memorable save as a goalie?
Probably the most memorable save I had as a goalie was probably back when I was a peewee, which is grade 8. In grade 8, there was this peewee hockey tournament where they had this huge tournament in Quebec, in Quebec City. So we got to be billeted by them, by the locals. So me and my goalie partner we got to stay with another family. And the first game, the way that the tournament worked is you got to play in the Colisée. Now, the Colisée was where the Quebec Nordiques used to play. And basically everybody had one chance to play in this game. If you lost, you got to go to the regulation. You got to play at this shitty little rink. But if you continued to win, you got to continue to play in the Colisée. Long story short, the game started off, we were up 4-1 or something like that. And the other team came back and was tied 4-4. So the way that this worked was that overtime worked out. You did 5-on-5 in overtime for 5 minutes. If that didn't work, then you went 4-on-4. If no one scored, then you went 3-on-3 sudden death, 2-on-2. Then it was one-on-one. So it was constant breakaways and stuff too. Nobody won. Then it went to the final was the shootout. And I remember making that save. This is what I remember. I remember making that save, and my buddy, his Suad, had to score the goal. And so I was a little bit nervous, so I made the save. I remember it was cut in. I think it was on my glove side. And I just remember, I'm like, oh my God, it was only the third save. And then Suad scored the game winner, and the whole team rushed, and it was just an amazing feeling. So I think that whole game, all the saves, I still kind of replay that whole game because there's not just one save in there. Like the 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, it was huge.
You'll never forget this.
Never forget that. Never forget that.
Yeah. What is one country that you're looking forward to visit, and why?
The one country I would really like to visit, it'd be great. I really would like to go visit Australia. I think that's a great country for me to visit because my wife went to university there, so she knows a little bit more than, she kind of talks about it a lot. And, the land down under, right? They do everything a little bit different. Like I heard even like the way that the toilets, the flushes goes the wrong way. Weird things like that kind of interest me. Plus, kangaroos and koalas. I don't know. I think
snakes everywhere.
Yeah, snakes. Like spiders the size of your face or bigger, like kind of that stuff. So snakes. My wife's scared of snakes, but no, I think Australia's always been a place that I really, really want to visit.
Okay, now we got the country. If you could learn a new language, what would it be?
My mom's going to kill me for this, but if there's a language I would really like to learn, it's Italian. I have broken Italian, as my wife says. I can understand it, but if I could be fluent in Italian, I think that would be fantastic. And that would be but I do have a second language. And I think if I can learn Cantonese or Mandarin, I think that I can just be cool. It's such a hard language to learn. I think if you have that in your back pocket, you're just ahead like than other white people in this
yes.
city.
All right. So let's get to know DC a little bit deeper, right? What's the worst gift you've ever received, and what did you do about it?
God, there's been a lot of bad gifts I received. But I remember, I'm sorry, but growing up as kids, sometimes some of the worst gifts first of all, it's nothing. I would say that would be the worst gift. And just people look like, oh shit, I forgot about you. That's a bad gift. But I remember as a kid, there was a certain family member who would always give us the worst clothing, the worst. And it would just sit in my drawer, and then we would donate it the next year. So yeah, I know that's probably the worst gift. Yeah. I remember one time my aunt, who actually got my other aunt, another aunt who's another family member, she got me this really expensive stuff. But I wanted it as a kid, right? Like it was a dress shirt and it was dress pants, and they were really nice Italian stuff. But dude, I was like, I wanted toys. So I started crying. I was like 9 or something like that too. And it's like, anyway, yeah. Not the best response you should have from a kid, but anyway.
Yes. I know you're married, but
what? Yeah, I'm married.
What's your ideal first date?
Oh, and I haven't been on a first date in a very long time. It's hard for me to answer that question. If I was doing a first date,
if you're taking out on a first date right now,
yeah,
that's what I was going with. If you're taking out on a first date right now, what would it be?
At the time of the year, I think it matters. So if I was to take somebody in this time of year, if it's a winter time, I think taking them skating would be really cool because you get to know them. They teach you something you're really good at, and kind of it's more of an intimate kind of thing. You got, if she doesn't know how to, if Natalie didn't know how to skate, I can help her. We'd fall around. I think it's kind of cool to kind of snuggle
together.
Very romantic. Yeah. And go for eat some street meat while you're on there, especially if you're in Nathan Phillips Square here. They have all those really cool food trucks, I think, over there too. And I don't want to do something too crazy expensive. I wouldn't want to do the typical, just do a restaurant. You don't want to do on a first date. You never want to do a movie theater because you're never really talking. You never really see each other.
Just looking straight ahead.
Yeah. And I also don't want to do a bar because I might get into the sauce a little bit. If you're a little too nervous.
Start talking reckless.
Yeah, I start talking reckless. And so I wouldn't want to do that. So I think a perfect first date would be skating and holding hands and going for some hot chocolate afterwards.
Amazing. What makes you feel at peace?
Is that cliche?
Yeah.
Is it? No, is that kind of cliche? Because a hockey player, we don't really get to enjoy skating. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think skating school, it takes me out of my element, but it's still kind of but you still have the powerful stride as a skater. So you're confident in yourself, but it's right. It's show off a little bit. Exactly. But I don't have my equipment on too. We never as hockey players really get to enjoy skating.
Mm-hmm.
So when my kids were skating and learning how to skate with them too, it was fun for me again. I got to hold their hands and stuff too. And I think that was kind of cool. That's why I chose skating as a first date. So anyway, I wanted to emphasize that a little bit.
I like that. I can see you guys doing that. What makes you feel at peace?
What makes me feel at peace is having mental stability. What makes me feel at peace, especially in the morning, is what I do is I like to ground myself.
Mm-hmm.
And what recently we've been doing is when I wake up, especially since I had the brain issue we had last year with the AVM, you realize that life is very precious and anything can be changed from you in any minute. So when I wake up in the morning, one of the first thing I want to do is I pray and I say, thank God for who I am, that I'm alive. It's funny. I try to tell my kids, it's like, you're not guaranteed when you go to bed at night that you're going to wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So what grounds me that is coming from a position of thanks as opposed to wanting of need. I need to do this. I need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, like when you sit back and you say, and you're thankful for all that you have, and you get to sit back and it's like, it changes your perspective. And I find that grounds me. It's like the hustle and bustle is gone. It kind of dissipates and it sets up the mood for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
When you enter this world every morning with a position of thank you, man, it just opens up so much part of your soul that it just kind of grounds you and sets you at ease.
Mm-hmm. What makes you feel the most accomplished?
What makes me feel the most accomplished is a great question. And a lot of people think maybe with all the degrees I've had or maybe the awards I've won. But I won't feel accomplished until my kids are set in life and have direction in their life and are solid. Like they're still young. They're 11 and 13. So I think I'm still a work in progress. Don't feel accomplished. I still feel like I always have to work on myself. And I think that's a good thing. I think I'm a great realtor, but I still think there's always room for improvement. And if I sat on my laurels, I won't be a great realtor. I just become average because if you're just doing the same thing you're doing today as you're doing tomorrow, that means you're not honing in your craft. So I think there's always room for potential, but my kids, oh man, like I think that would be my sense of accomplishment when I can look at them and say that they're
like you
able
did your
to
part.
flourish. Yeah, it's. I think that's a huge part of who I am.
Mm-hmm. Which one of your personality traits are you the most proud of?
I thought you were going to ask me which one of my personalities are my post. I guess if I'm like the split over here, I think there's a lot of good personality traits I have, which I think are very personal to me. I think I like the fact that I have a sense of humor. I make people laugh. I think that makes them feel at ease. But I think it's my giving spirit, I think is one of my traits because I got into this business to help people. And I think also that was my path. That's what I'm supposed to be here for. And I find that the more that I give, the more that I get. So I think that my Thanksgiving spirit, I don't know how you call that, whatever you call that spirit. I think for me, giving to other people is the trait that I would take that I would hold the most dear to my heart.
Okay. Do you believe in second chances?
I believe 100% in second chances. I believe in second chances in life. I believe in second chances in love. I believe in second chances with God. I believe in second chances over and over and over again. And why do I say that? I am married to my high school sweetheart, which we broke up twice. So if I didn't believe in second chances, I didn't deserve a second chance or a third chance, I should say. And she gave me my chance and I'm here for that. Second chance at my career, like think our careers, even 100%. Now, if somebody is ruthlessly going after you and asking for a second chance and they're doing things over and over again and you know in their head and their heart that they don't give a shit about you, then no, that's not a second chance. Yeah. But yeah, if you're wholeheartedly made a mistake, 100%.
What's the first thing you look for in a friend?
The first thing I would look for in a friend?
Yeah.
The first thing I would look for in a friend is their heart, they're genuine, how genuine they are.
Yeah.
You can just tell by their spirit when they're with you, how you feel, and the other thing is I look for in a friend is how they treat other people because their true spirit comes out. And I'm very good at at helping people. And I also give people a lot of the benefit of the doubt. And I try not to use my gut too much sometimes when I meet people, but it ends up being right. So I trust my gut a lot of times, but I want them, they have to have a very similar goals, goals and personalities and just the same spirit as I have. That would be that would be what I look for in a friend.
What is your biggest irrational fear?
My biggest irrational fear, I don't know. Like, as I used to fear more things. I used to fear of dying. I used to be fear of being alone. I used to fear of shaming. I'm not afraid of them anymore. I'm always afraid of death. I'll be honest. The other week, I was fighting a sickness and I thought I had died. And I woke up and I just, in the middle of the night, I said, and I thought I died. And I just said, no. And I wasn't saying, it was an ultimatum. Whether you, like, I remember, you ever have these dreams where somebody says to you and they're like, you can't breathe. You ever do that? So you try to hold your breath and then you start breathing like, oh my God, I just died.
Yeah.
And I woke up and Natalie woke up. She's like, what happened? I'm like, I thought I died. And it was, I wouldn't say it's irrational. I think it's more of a rational fear. But the reason why it was rational, I still feel like I have a lot to do and I'm not ready to die yet. I still, again, we don't merit our, there's nothing we can do in this life in order to earn our way into heaven. You know that. But there's still things I'm working on myself to make myself more perfect, right? I'm not ready yet, right? I'm just not ready. I haven't fulfilled all these things in life. So I don't know if it's a rational fear of dying, but I think I still have a fear of dying. I don't want to die yet. As much as I love God and I'm close, I think I can still get closer with God.
You know, it's crazy that my follow-up question after that was, do you think our dreams have hidden meanings?
Oh, 100%. I was reading an article the other day about dreams and they said, do you have hidden dreams? One of this article said to me is about your dreams is that God is trying to speak to you in your dreams and Satan's trying to pull them away from you. So when you wake up in the morning, try to remember the dream that you had because there's hidden meanings. And yeah, I think that's 100% true. I do believe in dreams. And let's be honest, a lot of times I talk with my dad and he talks to me about certain things. I can't do, but whenever I need comfort, he's there too. So I take a lot in that too. So I take dreams very, very seriously.
I also want to add to that. There's one quote I heard where it says, prayer is you telephoning to God and intuition is God telephoning to you. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. When you want
I thought there was a question on that.
No. I don't want this to slip. So I just wanted to add it in there.
Sure.
When you want to give up, what keeps you going?
When I want to give up, what keeps me going is my family. I have pictures of my family on my phone. I have my daughters. They're in my office. They're in my house. That's what gets me going from the day to day and makes me realize why I do what I do. And then I talked on a previous other podcast before. Is like, I also do things in my life to give me a little push to make sure that I'm still doing the right things. Like I have, like, for example, I like buy nice watches. I wear nice watches and I drive a nice car. And it's not for the fact of things. It's not the flashiness. It's not why I buy that stuff. To me, what it reminds me is like, I have to afford this. If you like this stuff, you have to keep going. When, with my car payments where I was in the past, like, I bought out my car now, but long story short, but what will get me going is every time I stepped in my car, it's like, you got to go to work today. You have to go to work today. If you like this car, you have to continue to work, keep pushing. So there were like reminders to me every single day to keep going. But when you get really deep and down in it, like, you just go with your family and your family is a little bit more of a reminder, but I like to have both of those. Sometimes it's like a little bit subtle reminders and then like, over the head reminder. It's like, you're doing this for them. In my listing presentation, when I meet with my potential sellers, I think page slide 3 or 4 is a picture of my family. And I say, this is why I put it out there. I said, this is why I do what I do. And I want to make sure that by me helping you, I'm helping them as well. Like, I want to make sure that I am doing this for you because I also have a family myself. I know exactly where you're at.
When do you feel the most loved?
When do I feel the most loved? Oh, and that's a hard one. Sometimes I don't always feel loved. And it's not because of the wife or the kids. It's just sometimes you feel isolated from them. You feel like you're working all the time. And what are you doing this for? Sometimes, you just don't always feel that. But when I feel the most love is when we have like my family together, we're sitting around the table and like we start we have an ongoing game of sequence, thanks to my mom. And it's me and Mila versus Natalie and Matea. And it's just, we joke around and stuff too. They know intimately about everything. We kind of joke around. Like, and I feel love there from my intimate family.
Mm-hmm.
And then from my clients, when I have parties and get-togethers and stuff, and then just them acknowledging and saying thank you. Even if they can't come, they say thank you so much. And they just, those little notes and stuff, like, makes me feel loved. It does. It really does. Yeah. I know that might sound cheesy, but it's like, but you remember, I've talked to before, my clients that listen to this know that they're part of my family. You know, that's not a joke. They do become part of my family.
Yeah. No. Are you superstitious about anything?
I used to be superstitious about a lot of things, especially when it came to hockey. But superstition wasn't like you're thinking I had to pray to, like, was it juju, whatever, from was it like the baseball game with Charlie Sheen. Anyway, no, it wasn't like superstitious praying to gods and all that kind of stuff too. But it's like how I put on equipment mattered, because it was a sequence, because it was a ritual I would do, and I still do to this day, because then again, I do things in certain sequences, including when my listing comes in, I do certain rituals or superstitions in a sequence to make sure that I have all the checked all the boxes. Now, if something erratic comes in, it doesn't work out, it wasn't because my process wasn't done properly. It's like a checklist I have. So my checklist would kind of be my superstitions. No, I don't believe in like bad luck or good luck. And sometimes sometimes I do that kind of stuff, but but when I get a gift from God, for example, like I know what it is. That's not superstition or luck. That's just like him giving you a little tidbit saying, hey, here you go. Thanks. Thanks for listening to me. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Who's a celebrity lookalike you've been told you look like?
I've been told I look like Tom Hardy, and I've told I look like Andy Samberg, the two biggest ones. I don't really see the Tom Hardy. Andy Samberg, when I was smaller and skinny without, I can see that a little bit more. But yeah, those are the two celebrities I mostly get associated with.
Okay. If you won the lottery today, let's say you won about 20 million, what are the first couple of things you'll be doing?
If I won the lottery, around $20 million, what would I do? Good question. Probably not much what you would think, right? I would see who needed the money, like somewhere close. I don't know if I'd use it all myself. I definitely didn't. I continue to work because I love what I do. And I'd probably buy more properties with it, set up kids somewhere that way. And I'd see if there's some sort of charity thing that we could help out that, because $20 million could make a difference. So I used 10 of it to help people.
And then 10 you'd invest.
Yeah, I would invest in somehow, because I like properties and stuff too. But I still have mortgages. So I wouldn't pay off mortgages. You don't want to pay off a mortgage, even if you win the lottery. And the reason why is you get the tax benefits for the interest, right? So it's better to own 10 properties that have mortgages on it than one property that has no mortgage on it. Even if it's the equivalent is the same amount of money, because you're able to spread out your expenses. And then the more properties have, like when the income increases, it can earn you more money. Right. So yeah. So I wouldn't, if you were going to invest in a property, it wouldn't be just one, it'd be multiple.
Would you buy a bigger house?
No.
You love the house.
If I won the lottery, I wouldn't buy a bigger house. I think we have the house I love. I love it. There's certain things I probably want to do. Maybe I'd have a nice cigar smoking room. Like Natalie and I talked about that, either in the basement or upstairs. So I would modify the house we currently have, but I love the location where I live. I love the house. And we've only been there 2 years, not even. In February, it'll be 2 years. So, yeah, winning lottery, I don't need that. And I'm not a car guy. So I don't see me spending money on like a Ferrari. Like I drive a nice Porsche. I'll be honest, you've seen my Porsche. It's nice. It's not a 911 where I'm like driving. I drive my car all year round. And the reason why I like my car is that I drive it all year round. It's great in the snow. I'm able to put my signs in the back. And my kids fit in it comfortably. And it's got enough power that I don't need a sports car like a Ferrari or Lamborghini or stuff too. I don't know. I don't think I need those at that point. And you can only drive one car at a time anyway.
Yeah. You like to collect watches. Out of your watch collection, what's your most favorite watch?
Out of my watch collection, I have probably 2 favorite watches, and they're probably not the ones that you think. My wife gave me my Tissot watch, I think on her first anniversary, it's the square one. So it's probably one of my favorites. And the second one is a Michael Kors, like it's the ceramic one. And that one my wife gave me for my my first Father's Day. So even those ones, I don't change the batteries, I don't wear them. Especially Michael Kors is very fragile. I broke it so many times. I'm like, I just keep it in my case most of the time. I've worn on the podcast a couple of times, but I like that one because it reminds, first of all, that life is fragile. It kind of reminds it. So you have to keep it in a case sometimes. But yeah, the watches that I would say that those are the two. Like I like my Rolexes for every day, and I like those because they're investment purposes. So if you were to buy a watch, if you're looking for investment, you never lose your money on, 100% go with Rolexes if you can afford them. But that doesn't mean that they mean the most here.
Yeah. What's your favorite scent?
My favorite scent?
Yeah, cologne.
My favorite, the cologne that I wear. So my favorite scent I wear cologne right now is it's Louis Vuitton ombre, something like that. I forget what it's called, but my wife doesn't like that. But growing up as a kid, we used to wear. I used to like the cheap the Versace blue jeans was always like the Italians back in the day, like like us young Italians, like my brother, like they used to like Milizia. I never really got into Milizia, but as a kid, I really liked CK1. CK Obsession and CK Eternity were still kind of two of the favorites that stuck in my mind. I thought you were saying scents, like flowers, and I'm like, I hate flowers.
You hate flowers, not flower.
I don't understand flowers. I just hate flowers. They remind me of funeral homes. I think for me, flowers just like ugh.
Even from like a romantic scent. Oh, you don't get them for your wife?
I just don't know I personally don't know what flowers look nice or not. So I don't know which, and they die pretty quickly.
Okay.
Why are you buying something you've already killed?
Yeah. We got a couple more here, DC.
Sure.
All right. What is your favorite cocktail to make?
So my favorite drink is a Negroni, yes, and it has vermouth, it has gin and Campari. Yeah, that's my favorite drink, and it's easy to make. That's my easy. Like it's very easy to make. Easy. Yeah, very easy. Wait a second. My second favorite drink to make is a slightly dirty martini. And I like good vodka. It all depends on the vodka you put in a martini. Now I like Grey Goose vodka, and I like certain vodkas. I don't do cheap. I don't do Smirnoff or any of that stuff too. Like Kettle One I like as well. And I do like
good stuff.
And I like it a little dirty.
Yes.
I like it a little dirty.
Extra dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite kind of meat?
My favorite kind of meat. Okay. So I would probably have to say steak. So like what my cut of steak has changed. Now I used to like a New York strip loin back, and I like it medium rare. I like it closer on the rare side. I don't like it blue. And I used to think I liked it rare, but now when I go to them, they almost make it raw. So when I go to steakhouses, but I like the ribeye because ribeye's got a little bit more marbling in it and it has a great flavor to it. I no longer eat pork. Pork hurts my stomach. But I used to really like a good pork chop as well. So yeah, my mom used to make some really good pork chops back when we were younger with some rice and some gravy. It was really good.
Sounds good.
Delicious.
Sounds delicious. Last question.
Who
or what never fails to make you laugh?
Who or what never fails to make me laugh? It's got to be Natalie. I think, we spend so much time together, and it's like, even when she's mad at me, sometimes she makes me laugh. And it's like stupid memes we've been doing. Like we are the typical couple. Like we'll go to the bathroom, send each other like 15 memes, and it's just, we'll sit beside each other. Like, and it's cute, I guess, but it's like, but we've known each other so long. Like my wife and I have basically known each other most of our lives. Like we got to remember, we met when I was in grade 7 and she was in grade 8. We started dating when I was in OAC. That used to be, for you guys who don't know what OAC was, I was grade 13 and she was in grade 12. I was 18, I think at the time, and she was turning 17. So yeah, I'm 45 years old now. So it's like, so we kind of know how to push each other's buttons. We can also get under our skin and make each other irate. But I think consistently, she makes me laugh all the time. Yeah. Yeah. I know we talk a lot about the families. We spend so much time with each other, right? So yeah. But I also really know how to annoy my wife really quickly. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this, rapid fire question to ask. It's a little bit different than DC Talks podcast. I hope you enjoyed the journey we've had so far this year. We're going to continue sending you content next year, starting in January. We're really looking forward to, sending you all this amazing content. If there are any topics you want us to talk about, any conspiracy theories you want me to touch on, a little bit more of the rapid fire, obviously we'd like to hear from you. So reach out. Again, you're following along with your YouTube. You can always like and subscribe and send your comments there. Or you can always follow along wherever you're listening to for your podcast. But again, we'd like to hear from you. You're our listener. So again, like and share this and continue to comment. We absolutely love you, and we appreciate all of you that have been following along this past year. And here's to another amazing year for season 2 of DC Talks podcast. We'll see you all soon.